Hello again and welcome to Tips with Andrew. I am Andrew Sapiano. Thank you so much for joining me on this happy Wednesday, happy hump day. I hope you guys are having an awesome week so far, rocking out whatever goals, hopes, plans, dreams you have for this week and are making it happen. Yes. Quickly before we get started here, convention tickets for doTERRA are on sale. If you have not gotten yours, definitely sign up, reach out to me, drop me a comment, and send me a message. We'll get you signed up. If you are at all interested in essential oils, alternative wellness, living a natural alternative lifestyle, right? Anything, outside of modern medicine, this is the event that you want to be at. It's a week-long information session, education, community gathering, new products, exclusive products, science behind why the oils work. It's such an amazing time. I'm super excited. I actually love it. It's one of my favorite times of year, actually. So it's going to be in person as well as online. So definitely, if you're interested, reach out to me, drop me a comment, send me a message, and we'll get you rocking and rolling. Next, I'm officially booking consultations, free consultations for life coaching. If you or somebody you know of is having a little bit of a difficult time dealing with life right now, transitional periods, stuff like that, there's a lot going on. And it is not, by any stretch of the imagination, a bad thing to reach out and ask for help. So definitely reach out to me. We'll book you a free consultation. See if this is something that is interesting for you, and if you think it works for you, we'll definitely progress further from there. And I just want to make sure that you know that you're awesome and you can achieve anything you want to in life as long as you put your mind to it. Alrighty, let's get right into today's topic. And actually, this is actually a cool topic for me today. You know what? Trust me, there's so much going on over here. I could just keep going and going. But what a great time to be alive, right? We are what? I keep mentioning this, that we are, halfway through 2020. This is like an amazing period. This is actually an amazing moment in time if we can actually, stop for a minute and smell the roses, right? So let's take a deep breath. All right, let's get into today's topic. Today's topic is actually one that I love talking about. And it's actually one of the topics that, I get asked a lot about in general, right? And this is a topic that is prevalent on people's minds, especially nowadays, right? And so we're going to talk getting out of debt, easy ways to get out of debt so that you have more money in your pocket, more money for you to spend on things that you want to do, more money for you, right? Not for anybody else. Especially nowadays, right? The price of gas is just through the roof. The price of groceries is almost doubled since the last time you went to the store. Subscriptions are rising everywhere. Everything is just going through the roof. It's just nuts right now. And so if you don't actually have a plan, we talked about committing to yourself last broadcast, and this one, if you're not committing to yourself a financial plan, you are definitely going to be left by the wayside because somebody else's financial plan does not involve you. I promise you that, unless you're working for them. So let's get right into the tips for today. I've got some easy tips that helped me sort of take control of my finances. I'm not gonna lie, I was terrible, right? I was, as soon as I got money, I was spending it. As soon as I got a paycheck, it was out the door. I didn't, Bubbly GT, yo dude, what's happening? Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you for taking time out of your busy schedule to be here with us on this fantastic Wednesday evening. We are talking getting out of debt so that you can have more money to do the things that you want to do, right? Buy the things that you want to buy, and instead of spending it all on groceries and gas and whatnot, right? So, for me, it was a struggle. It really was. It was, hard times. And for me, it was really shifting my thought process, my whole way of thinking, right? And I actually really loved, the process that I went through. What car have you got? I have got a 2014 Ford Fiesta. And if you want to have money in your account, do not buy extravagant cars. That is rule number one. Extravagant cars, extravagant jewelry, big fancy shirts. Get all that off of your list. Unless you have a really high paying job and you can afford that stuff, more often than not, that is what's called keeping up with the Joneses. Nowadays, we call it keeping up with the Kardashians, because we want to have the newest, best thing, right? The latest model, and that's where all of our money goes, because it's nuts. Actually, one of the things that I was thinking about was Xbox, right? I'm an Xbox guy. I love it. And, the new Xbox is like $700. Like, to do the same thing that the old Xbox was. I just bought a Porsche 919 Spider. That's amazing. That's awesome, man. Bubbly GT, my man, buying the Porsche Spider. Why not a Porsche GT? Come on, man. That's all right. You do you, baby. That's awesome. I'm so proud of you that you finally were able to buy the car that you wanted to buy. That's amazing. I love that. That's awesome. So let's get into today's topic. We're talking easy steps to get out of debt so that you have more money in your pocket to buy the things that you want to buy, i.e. a brand new Porsche. I love it. I love it. Mine's a Ferrari. Once I can, I'm going to buy it, and it's going to be amazing. Porsche GT Carrera, 2004. This guy's like, I don't even do that old school stuff. Why are you bringing up old stuff? I love it. I love it. Awesome. That's amazing. So, my first tip in order to get out of debt is to read books. You have to do the work, you have to put in the effort. You have to read the books of the people that came before you, because people have anything that you want to achieve in your life, anything that you want to have, do, or be in your life has already been done by somebody else, right? So therefore, you are able to see the roadmap that they have left for you, because that's the best thing about people that have made it. They have no problem telling you about how they made it, what they did to get there, what they went through, everything that happened in their life. And that's why you have to read the information, you have to get the books, you have to put the time and effort in order to make sure that you can understand the information. So the first book that I have here is called Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. This one was actually the way that this one was presented to me was Think and Grow Rich. Now that sounds like a concept, right? And I thought, you know what? If I could think and grow rich, that does sound like quite the concept. Now, I mean, I will say that, Napoleon Hill, he's a weird dude. So some of the stuff in the book is weird, right? It's not going to be for everybody, but if you're a weird guy, then do the weird things. Nobody's going to judge you. Trust me, not when you're making the money that you know you should be buying a Porsche GT. Do you know Andrew Tate? I do not know him personally, but I do follow him on TikTok, and I've actually watched a few of his things, and he's actually a really cool guy. But no, I do not know him personally. Thank you for the tip, though. That's actually a really cool tip. Bubbly GT, Andrew Tate. That's definitely a guy, if you're interested in learning more about the financial institutions, he's a good guy to talk to or to listen to. Thank you for that. But so Think and Grow Rich, its basic concept is you become what you think about. And if you have been on this earth for any imaginable period of time, you are in the exact place that you are right now because this is where you wanted to be. This is where your thoughts brought you to. This is the life that you envisioned for yourself. So therefore you are a living embodiment of that, the past brought into the future. That's the way it works. It's an amazing phenomenon if you can actually just grasp the concept of changing your thoughts. You change the way you think, you can change your life. He was poor and made his first million from kickboxing, 4-time world champion, still poor during the late stages of his career. That's crazy, man. Boxers and still poor. What a sport, man. Just getting your face punched in all day, every day, and no money in that, just for entertainment purposes. That's crazy. But that's actually a crazy story. He was poor and then and then made his money by boxing. That's, you know what, I feel like he's from some Southern American country that doesn't really have too much to do there other than, you know, throw rocks and fight. So yeah, I definitely can see that happening. That's thank you for that story. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. I'm sure the viewers over here will too. And so yeah, so Think and Grow Rich is a concept that you have to really understand, right? You have to get behind the fact that it's not going to happen overnight, and you need to really put your thoughts into motion in order to get that, in order to get to where you want it to be. He lived in the UK, grew up in North America, now lives in Romania. There you go. You know what? Born in the UK, lived in North America, now lives in Romania. What a story, right? What a great story. You got everybody, a lot of people that you talk to are just like, you know, I can't do that. I can't move to a different country. You know, I can't pick up my life and leave. I can't, you know, get out of my comfort zone and do something that I think might be amazing in this world, because that is scary. And here's a guy that went 3 different countries. That's amazing. Thank you for that, Bubbly GT. You're awesome. This is my stats guy right here, letting me know everything that's going on right now. I love it. Thank you, Bubbly GT. Big shout out to you. Awesome. That's amazing. So my second book here is called The Millionaire Teacher. And this one is the 9 rules of wealth that you should have learned in school. This is actually one of those things, right? Because you don't learn money things in school. And when you become an adult for any imaginable amount of time, you understand that there's a reason that you don't learn about money in school, because they don't want you to learn about money. They don't want you to learn how to be financially stable, how to take care of yourself. They want you to be, you know, dependent on government money, on government assistance, on, you know, they give you just enough so that you come back for more, but not enough so that you can actually get ahead, right? So that's really the, you know, the scam of the financial institutions nowadays, right? They rack up however many thousands, millions of dollars in debt. And then you go, I remember when I left college, I paid $10,000 maybe to get my welding certificate. And when I got out of college, everybody wanted 3 years experience. So I just went and paid $10,000 for a course to get a certification that I can't even use. Right? So that's, to me, that, you know, it's really sad. It really is, you know, and there's so much good information that comes from school. It's just not something that sets you up for financial stability in the future. It sets you up to be on government support for the foreseeable future, and to not be able to have, you know, not be able to have, do, and see the things that you want to, right? Be the things that you want to. So that's why we need to really learn financial education. We need to learn about the financial system. We need to know what's happening. Actually, one of the biggest scams in the world is the banking system. And if you don't believe me, read up on it. How it actually started, where it came from, the monetary value of money. It's such a disappointing story is really what it is. And that's why we need to learn about it, because we have to know how to prepare ourselves, especially nowadays, right? Inflation's through the roof. Gas bills are double than the last time we went through. So we have to know how to protect ourselves in times of need, and especially nowadays, right? Because I mean, as bad as times are now, I promise you that this has government intervention written all over it. So therefore, it's probably going to get a lot worse before it gets any better. So therefore, we have to do what we can in order to protect ourselves and to you know, not only survive but thrive in these times, right? So these 2 books right here, that I can attest to a lot of my success just from those 2 books. There's actually a 3rd book. It's called The Wealthy Barber by David Chilton. I don't have it with me here, but that one is a really good too. That one's kind of a story version of how to deal with debt. It's a really good one. Read the books, learn the information, apply the information, get yourself out of debt. Number 2, make and stick to a budget. Because I can promise you, making budgets aren't going to do anything at all. And sticking to a budget that doesn't exist isn't going to work either, because you don't know where your money's going, you don't know where your money's coming from, you don't know what's happening to your money. Nowadays, with your phone, there's so many apps that you could get. There's so many different things that you can get to make this stuff automated, to make it, happen for you so that you don't even have to actually do anything. But if you're, if you're an old school person, or you don't really do the phone very well, or that's not something that you're interested in doing, pen and paper is has to be your favorite friend, because you need to track every transaction that you make. You need to know exactly where your money is coming from and where your money's going. Make a budget, realize all of your income, realize all of your outgoing expenses, then come to some sort of determination on how much money you should have left at the end of the month. Then stick to the budget and write down all of your expenses throughout the month, so therefore you can compare at the end of the month. You should, according to your budget, you should have this amount of money. According to your spending, you should have this amount of money. And you put the two together, they should match. If anything, you should have more money in your bank account than you budgeted for, right? Because you're following the budget, right? You're doing all the right things. You're getting your life on track, and you're really being conscious about the spending decisions that you're doing. This is how it works, right? What's the saying? The plan works if you work the plan, right? So a budget works. It is boring. It is tedious. It is monotonous. It is not fun at all, and it will make you want to drive your head off a wall. But it works. Right? You could say all of the bad things that you want to, all of the terrible stuff that you want to, all of whatever you want to say about it. It works. When you make and stick to a budget, it works. It right? It's like your budget is like, think about it, a ship leaving to sea, right? If your budget is putting a captain on the ship, right? Giving it a destination, giving it the map, setting the sails, going out in that course, right? That's your budget. If you don't have a budget, think of it as same ship, just leaving the harbor, right? It's got no captain, no crew, no plan, no destination, no map on how to get there, and it just goes, right? If it even leaves the harbor, chances of it making it very far are very slim, right? So that's where we need to understand that, as boring as a budgeting is, as monotonous and tedious as it is, it works. When you work it, it works. Any sort of article, book, presentation, paper, whatever you want to call it, that talks about getting out of debt, talks about making and sticking to a budget, because the plan works when you work the plan. And this is one of those things that if you make a budget and you stick to it and you write down all of your expenses and everything that you do, or you do all of the quote unquote right things, and it doesn't work at all, it actually makes you further and further in the hole, definitely come back to me and tell me that budgeting doesn't work, and I would love to hear that story behind that. My bad. Side note, water. Definitely be drinking your water. Make sure you stay hydrated, especially on days like today. We're getting so much heat. The big heat wave coming through. Actually, big heat wave in Canada, big heat wave in the UK right now. So definitely hydrate. Number 3, automate. Automate your bills. Automate your money coming out of your account into your to pay off your bills. For me, what was the best thing that I could have done ever was listen to the advice and get the money automated off my paycheck. One of the rules that these guys teach you is pay yourself first, right? So you pay yourself first because you are the one that worked for that money. You are the one that earned it, and you should pay yourself first. You shouldn't pay yourself based off of, this is the money that I have left after paying all my bills. Shouldn't be that way. You should, if you want to get out of debt, if you want to live the life of your dreams, if you want to have extra money in your pocket, you need to make sure that you're paying yourself first. Automate your expenses. Automate your bills coming off your check. For me, getting it taken off my check was the easiest thing that I ever had to do. I was here thinking, maybe this is not for me, and I don't know, and this is whatever excuse you want to list off, right? Blah 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 blah. In the end, I realized that. I actually just made the leap. And I was like, if this doesn't work for me, if I find that this isn't working, whatever, I'm just going to take it off and we'll end up figuring something else out. What happened was I actually didn't even end up noticing the money coming off my check. And that was actually amazing because what I was able to do was build up a savings account through my work, or through the credit union, and have it taken right off my check. And when I had it taken right off my check, I ended up with so much money in this savings account that I didn't even actually realize that it was all there because I didn't realize it was coming off my check. So for me, this was the epitome of extra money, right? This was the epitome of paying myself first, because this is money that I didn't even realize was missing, and it was, accumulating interest in a savings account, making money for me. This money was working for me to make more money, right? And this was money that I didn't even notice missing off of my check. So if you can't automate it off of your check, definitely automate it out of your bank account on the day you get paid. This is really what made a difference to me, because I've done multiple different things. And I found that getting it automated on the day you get paid is the easiest, because that way you can see exactly how much money you have, at all points in time. When I've tried, so some money came out on payday, some money came out the next day, some money came out a few days later. And then all of a sudden there'd just be, there'd just be these extra transactions happening in my account. And I'm like, what the heck is going on here? And then I'm looking, I'm like, oh yeah, okay, yeah. Oh yeah. So then I was like, this is such a headache. This is hard to follow. This is hard to even continue to do. So I was like, I'm just going to automate everything right out of my bank account on the day that I get paid. And that way the money goes in my account. The money that I'm saving comes out of my account, right? Savings, bills, definitely emergency funds, all sorts of that just comes right out of my right out of my bank on my payday. And that way I don't have to think about it. I don't have to look at it. I don't have to worry about whether it's coming. Automate your payments. I promise you that will make such a big deal. This is another one, right? If automating your payments doesn't work, definitely come back here, tell me that didn't work for you and it actually made your life that much harder. I would love to hear the story behind that. But automating your payments, don't even think about it. Just get the money taken out of your account, pay your bills, pay yourself first, get yourself out of debt. Think about realistically your life goals and, rock it out. Don't let debt get in your way. One of the things that actually was taught to me was debt is actually your enemy, right? Think of debt like your enemy. And if your enemy was coming into your house, right, coming at you, coming to take your things, you'd be like, nah, not gonna happen. Get out of here, bud. Maybe not that nice, but that's what's gonna happen. But debt, if you think about it like your enemy, right, is really making gains on you, and it's really making your life a lot harder than it should be. Number 4, consider a side hustle / selling old things that you don't need anymore, right? We're all good at something. We could all do something that makes money, especially nowadays, right? With the internet and, being able to sell basically anything and make up projects and sheets and, school things and adult things and cups and hats, and the list goes on and on, right? There's so many things that we could be selling nowadays to make a couple extra bucks on the side. Also, if you can't think of anything that you want to sell on the side, or anything that you would be good at to make money on the side, or you don't think that you have the time or the effort or the energy, you definitely have a bunch of things laying around your house that do not do you any good anymore and are just taking up space. Consider selling them. Right? They're not doing anything by taking up space in your... Now, unless they're like antique things. For me, I have a few antique things that I don't even know if I could part ways with, even if the price was right. But that's it, right? If you've got antique things, you got antique things. But if you've got things that are just laying around, doubles and triples of things that are just taking up space, consider selling it, right? Giving yourself that extra little money, especially nowadays, right? Times are a little bit tougher than they've ever been, that we can even, my generation can even imagine. And, talking to some older people, it's a lot harder than they've ever imagined either, right? So, modern problems require modern solutions. And, we just, every once in a while, we need to sell a thing or two to make a couple extra dollars. And don't feel bad about, don't feel bad about selling things nowadays, right? Because people are doing it. Regardless of the situation that anybody is in at all times, people are selling things. And people are making money. And, the big corporations right now are making killer amounts of money. So why can't we make money, right? Why can't the average Joe and Jane make money, right? We're allowed to make money. We just need to switch our thoughts around it. See, when you start selling things, people are gonna be like, "Wow, you're rude, trying to make money off people in this environment, with this economy," right? But they'll go to Walmart and spend $300, Costco spend $1,000, and not even think about it, right? If you want to talk about a pyramid scheme, Costco is the biggest pyramid scheme out there. I mean, come on, let's get real here. So don't feel bad about trying to make a couple extra bucks nowadays, because we're all trying to get by, right? We're all trying to make it happen, and we're all trying to do what we can with what we've got. My sort of side tip is, if you are at all considering getting some help with your finances or getting your life in order, something like that, I am partnering with a certified financial advisor. So definitely reach out to me if that's something that you're interested in, and we will and we'll definitely talk about your goals and your dreams, hopes, ambitions, and get you rocking out, get you a plan. Definitely reach out to me, and we'll get in contact with you. My last tip here is to consider a life coach, right? We just talked about a certified financial planner to help with your finances. Well, consider a life coach, right? Life is hard, and especially nowadays, right, when you've got so much going on, there's so many things happening all at once, and it really makes it hard to focus, right, to concentrate. So that's where I would come in. Somebody like me, a certified life coach that can help you when times are tough, that can help you kind of organize your thoughts, give you that, that motivation, that push that you need. Because every once in a while, things get a lot tougher than we can deal with on our own. And asking for help is not, by any stretch of the imagination, a bad thing. In my opinion, it actually makes you a stronger person, because you're realizing that, you've reached your wit's end, and you need to reach out for help. And that's where I would come in. Consider booking a free consultation with a certified life coach like myself, and we'll get you on your way to living the life of your dreams, rocking out whatever goals you have. That's all I got for you for today. I really hope you enjoyed this. I know I had some fun making it. We had some good conversation here. Bubbly GT, him and his new Porsche. Feel free to share this with your friends, family member, perhaps somebody from your team that you feel needs to hear this. If you'd like to learn more about essential oils, financial planning, booking a free consultation with a certified life coach, definitely reach out to me. Drop me a comment, send me a message, and we'll get you rocking and rolling. Thank you so much for joining me, and I really hope you guys have a fantastic rest of your day and an even better week, and I look very forward to talking to you again. I love you guys. Bye for now.